had a customer call us up, and they were in the process of selling their house. And in this market, a lot of houses are moving so quickly. But the issue with this particular home is that they were getting some water in a utility area and weren't really able to figure it out. And in the previous years, and they owned this house for 20 plus years, over the course of their home ownership, they've done pretty much everything you could do to ensure waterproofing this foundation. They installed French drain, perimeter drain systems. They did regrading of the outside. They did reestablish the water damp proofing membrane on the outside. They did waterproofing on the inside as well. But there was one area in the corner of the utility room that continuously got wet, and they couldn't figure out, after all of these things that they did, why was it still getting wet? They've invested tens of thousands of dollars over the years, and it was really kind of scaring away a lot of buyers because they knew that all these systems were in place, but we still had one area that just couldn't be tamed. So we got in there, we tried to figure out, well, what is the situation? Why are we seeing the water here? And what we found out is that many years ago, there was an old pipe penetration kind of very close towards the bottom of the foundation, where a line went out towards the street. And in that pipe penetration, because it's blocked, they usually have to core a pretty big hole because it's really hard to get a small hole in the pipe penetration there because of how gentle or how delicate the block actually is. So they were able to put a pipe penetration with a sleeve in there and then ran the line that would have to go outside. The problem is that whoever did this pipe penetration years ago probably didn't do an adequate job of actually putting water stopping or any sort of plug on the outside. So it did break down over the years, and they would just get more and more water through there. So even though they had a perimeter drain system, even though they had an interior drain system, they regraded the yard, there was still this void space in the foundation which allowed the water to come in here. So what we were able to do is that PVC sleeve is really challenging because you have masonry in plastic, and they don't like to marry very well in terms of things sticking to one another, and it makes it a challenge to waterproof. So we're able to actually do kind of a three-phase approach in this area, where we would put a masonry material in there to at least start the blocking system. Then we use our closed cell polymer resin material. We'll actually expand and kind of totally encapsulate that. The problem is that plastic expands a lot relative to masonry, so we do have to be very careful there, because the material will expand, but it will only move it so much. And then we use a specialty product, which is actually from the oil and gas industry, to prevent any sort of air or gas vapors and water vapor, or liquids coming through on gas lines. And it's almost like a peanut butter kind of paste that goes into this thing. And that was the final seal on this thing. And we were able to basically warranty this no problem, because we knew that nothing was ever going to be coming through this pipe after we had fully waterproofed it. Gave the warranty to the homeowner so they could put it in their realtor package, and house sold the next week because they knew that work was done. So it was a great story. It was a lot of headaches leading up to it for the homeowners and the realtors to try to figure out why this area wasn't working, even though everything was seemingly in place, but just need another set of expert eyes in there to be able to figure out what was going on, how to properly deal with it, and actually seal this thing up for good with a warranty to the new homeowners.